Hey Vespa, welcome back. Hey, thanks for having me over again. What do you want to talk about this time? Well, I've been going through a little something. I guess I'm just kind of frustrated with how people perceive me or how I'm perceiving myself. What do you mean by that? The other day I was just walking around and someone said that I looked like a clown. A clown? That's an odd thing to say. I mean, it's not the oddest thing. just just look at me. But it made me frustrated. It made me really angry, actually. But it was an unreasonable response. The lines on my face could indicate to someone that I'm some sort of clown. But to me, I'm a doll. And that felt like something I knew in my bones, but just hearing other people say something differently, while it didn't make me question myself, it made me deeply uncomfortable. I think I get what you mean. I've been a witch for a lot of my life, but based on how I dress, many people don't really see that. I don't exactly dress like a witch, though I like to think that I have the aura of one. So I can understand that when people miss what you think you are, that can be kind of disorientating. Yeah. But based on how I've seen you, it doesn't really seem to bother you at all. Well, that is true. I just see it as people living their own lives, and sometimes people just can't get things. This isn't one of those scenarios where you've told someone specifically what you think you are and they've decided to just go against it. No, not something like that. Just something more personal, I guess. Something more about how I have a view of myself and then other people have a view of me, and how those two things can be different. But it's also not just that. I've noticed my view of myself has changed over time, and yet I see myself as something so solid, something so specific, but it changes. And I guess it makes me wonder if my identity can change over time. Why do I get so frustrated? Why do I get so angry if people don't get it? And the anger isn't just to people. To be honest, it's really not. It's towards myself. I think I'm frustrated that, despite everything, how I view myself changes over time. I think I think I might be a bit of the opposite from you. Really? Yeah. For me, I see the term witch as a social idea. It's not necessarily something I decided for myself. It's something people place upon me. My decision to dress differently wasn't really in a rebellion or anything like that. I just like the way I look right now. But the word witch is a signifier to people. It gives them an indication of what they should assume about me. Obviously, it's not who I am, 100%. It's not something that I feel like goes to the depth of my soul. But I guess on some level, I don't really believe there would ever be a word that cuts that deep. I don't know if I believe in words that much. Yeah, I think I like to have words that represent me. I feel like that's important. Do you not think that's important? No, I do think that's important, but maybe it's important to different people. Or maybe the amount of importance we give to it is dependent on who we are, or what we're affected by. For myself, I like to have an identity that is changing constantly, where it's hard for me to be pinned down, but not just by others, To be honest, I could care less how others perceive me. Not that I think it's weak if people are affected by that or anything like that. It's just we all have different receptors, and for whatever reason, it doesn't affect me that way. But for me, when I view myself as too specific or too rigid, I get bored of myself. I find it kind of frustrating. It kind of makes me nervous, actually. I feel like maybe I stagnated. I feel like maybe I haven't changed enough. Haven't changed enough. That's an interesting idea. It makes me think about the moment I decided that I would see myself as a doll. Contrary to the view that I may look like a clown, I really do just see myself as a doll. That word holds a lot of meaning to me. But on some level, you're right. The moment I decided I was that was in the past. It makes me think that the moment we decide who we are and we hold on to it, does that mean we're just stuck in the past? A certain kind of nostalgia, perhaps? I think it could be. The way I see it, if you allow me to be frank, is the moment we decide to make ourselves into something, the moment we decide to congeal our identities into one specific thing or multiple things, that happens in the past. And then we decide to reiterate that perspective to ourselves to further confirm it. We'll look for evidence on the outside, we'll look for evidence within, and then we'll perform to that identity to ensure that we actually are that. I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think there is a way in which it can go too far. Think about when you've taken on an identity and you've taken on how you see yourself as that identity, and it's been like 5 years. You haven't curated that identity, you haven't changed it at all. Perhaps you made a goal in your life based on it, that you would become this kind of person. The moment you decide to make that goal, and to make it unchanging whatsoever, to not allow any tweaks or changes, to not allow any disturbances, in a way, you're locked in stasis. Your identity is locked in stasis and is very unchanging. It can result in a certain adolescence when it comes to one's identity because it's so far in the past. And so what you're saying is, when you decide to make your identity more ephemeral, less defined, you're more in the present? I think so. I think it's a form of presence. But I think we need both. I think we need to have a solid identity and the willingness to kill it all the same. To kill it. To end it? Not exactly. When I say kill, I mean the willingness to have some sort of change with how we see ourselves. See, as I was talking with you, I was kind of against the idea of having a solid identity. It made me feel trapped, confined. It made me feel like I couldn't breathe. Like I was fixed. But what I'm realizing is that an identity that we believe to be solid, the purpose of that is that when we believe we are something, we get to reiterate upon it. We get to work on it. We get to keep proving to ourselves that we are that thing that we think we are. I get to keep proving to myself that I'm a witch every time I cast a spell. And yet, I remember there was a time where I had to do something else. A teacher of mine told me that I had to master something different. That I had to work on my physical body, get a bit stronger to perform spells better. I thought it was ludicrous at the time. Why would I have to do such a thing? I didn't think it was befitting a witch. But then I did it. And to be honest, it helped. It made things easier. It made me redefine what it means to be a witch. It kind of broke my mind for a little bit. I was willing at that time to kill what I thought I was and to reinvent it in a new way. I think that's what's necessary. When you hold on to an identity, for yourself, that would be being a doll. For myself, I guess that would be being a witch. It allows us to explore that thoroughly because we actually get to hold on to it. But if we don't let go of it, if we don't allow it to be transformed, we become stagnant. We have to tweak it. We have to be willing to kill how we thought that would show up. And perhaps even not think about it at all, and then let it reconstitute back again and see if something is different. Identity is not just this thing that you are. You are unfolding. You are unfolding constantly. But simultaneously, the mind requires a solid identity to work with. Otherwise, the mind is too scattered. And so we have to have both. Both of them working at the same time. So maybe I don't need to get so offended when others perceive me wrong. And maybe I don't need to get so nervous when I feel like I'm changing and becoming something else. Perhaps that's just what it means to be a person. The mind needs things to be solid. And then we change. And then we believe ourselves to be something different. Until that is destroyed as well. There's something about destruction that is required in order for there to be some sort of genuine engagement with life. When we decide that we are something, that happens in the past. And then when we try to reinforce it to ourselves, we are projecting it into the future. But in the present, we're always changing. But as people, we try to engage with all of them. We try to engage with both our minds and the present moment simultaneously. And so to be something complete, we need to do both. We need to both define ourselves and then be completely willing to throw it away. I think I'm okay with changing who I am and making things a bit different. And I think I'm okay with staying the same for a while, just to build on it. Just to see if it will actually stick. Who knows? Something new might come from that. But you're right, we need both. We need to be able to change, and we need to be able to build on what we think is the same. I think that's what identity is.